Hello everyone and welcome to a new sprint review from the Eclipse JKube team. Regarding this sprint's accomplishments, for JKube we've continued to work on the Kubernetes and OpenShift Gradle Plugin implementation. The debug tasks are now ready and we're working on the rest of the missing tasks. We've also been active in this year's Hacktoberfest and so far we've merged more than 20 pull requests. For the Fabricate Kubernetes client, we released version 5.9. On today's demo, we'll show our progress on the debug task for Gradle. This task is part of our inner loop experience and allows users to debug the applications running on the cluster. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a Springboot application with Gradle Java. I'm going to open it in my IDE. So, window. Okay, so the application is now ready, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add our plugin. So we still haven't released this, so I'm using the snapshot version. And now I'm going to create a very simple endpoint so that we can check the debug goal. So yeah, let's set up the Okay, so this is ready. Okay, and now I'm going to deploy the application. So I will run the Gradle clean build, and then I will build the image, the resource manifests, and apply them to the cluster. I'm also going to use a node port for my service. So the resources should appear here as soon as they get deployed. Okay, and the application appears to be deployed and ready. So if I press here, I'm getting an internal error. We could check the logs. And if you see, an exception is getting thrown. So yeah. So for now, it would be very useful for us to be able to debug what's actually happening here, because why are we getting this exception, right? So this is what the k8s debug task does. So I'm going to invoke this. Okay, so the application has restarted in debug mode, and now I can connect remotely to my cluster. I can start the debug session, and now I'm going to set a breakpoint in my endpoint. As you can see, it's pretty clear why we're getting this exception. So if I refresh, I stop here and I see that exception is true and a runtime exception is thrown. So this is why we get this white label error page. I can restart again. I could set the value to false. And now there's no exception. Repeat the process and the exception appears again. So as you can see, this is very, very useful for the inner loop. I can now delete my resources since I finished my debug session and clear everything up. So this is all for today's demo. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining.